الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Respected brothers and sisters, all praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting us the opportunity to come to His house for salah. We ask Allah to accept our ibadah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the khair of this day and protect us from the evil. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. As we continue in our journey of building our individuals, before we start, just wanted to request the community to make dua for our brother Dawood's father-in-law who is very sick back in Bosnia. Please make dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him shifa, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the family. Ask أذهب البأس رب الناس واشف أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيه نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيه نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيه آمين يا رب العالمين. So as we start on the journey of preparing for the life of your after the day of judgment, which is the main concern of every individual's life. Everything that we do in this world, good or bad, it's been recorded. That's why this dunya is called Darul Amal, the house of doing actions. And the akhirah is called Darul Jaza, the house of compensation. So whatever actions we do in this world, that's the type of compensation a person will receive on the day of judgment. So when we talk about al-isti'dad li yawm al-ma'ad, preparation for that day, for the day which is promised, it is giving us a concern that how can we become successful and our actions be governed in this dunya in such a way that when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, these actions are the means of saving us from the horrors of the day of judgment. In regards to our journey regarding understanding actions that are required or needed for a person to develop in this world so that his akhirah can become better, Abu Sulaiman ad-Darani rahimahullah, who's a scholar from the second 200 Hijrah, his death was 215, a very dedicated individual to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a great pious person. He mentions that the success as well as the achievement, fortune of this individual lies in three things. As'adun nas, the person who is considered to be the most successful, sophisticated, and achiever from all the people of the world. An individual who has three things in his life, he has become As'adun nas, the most fortunate individual. Who are these? What are these three things? Number one, qalbun alimun. His heart is knowledgeable. And when we talk about qalbun alimun, heart is knowledgeable, what type of knowledge we're talking about that is required in the heart? That knowledge which is beneficial, that develops the action in this individual. There is a huge difference between information and ilm. Information is something that increases in your understanding of something. And ilm is something that increases your action upon something. A person understands the virtue, the benefit, and the reward of salah, but that does not make a difference in his life. The only thing that is going to make a difference in the life of this individual is actually doing and praying salah. A person understands the virtue, the importance, the benefit of fasting, but that benefit cannot be earned until he is able to do the action. And then that action has many different categories that is found in this individual. The action is done for the sake of Allah with the right way, according to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is an action that is going to be accounted as in favor of this individual. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-ilmu ilman, knowledge are of two types. Ilmun fil qalb, fadhaka ilmun nafih. وعلم على اللسان فذاك حجة الله على ابن آدم. That the first type of knowledge is the knowledge of the heart. And what is the definition of the knowledge of heart? As we mentioned, قلب عالم, heart needs to be knowledgeable. فذاك علم نافع, this is a beneficial knowledge. A knowledge which encourages a person to do action. A person listens to a lecture and he admires it, he's fascinated through listening to the lecture, but that lecture does not change a single amal in his life. This knowledge is going to be used against this individual on the Day of Judgment. Allah will say that you knew but you didn't practice. A person hears the harm of backbiting, but he does not stay away from backbiting. Having to know the harm and not practicing it, it will be used against this individual on the Day of Judgment. So as people are eager towards learning, listening to lectures, sitting in talks, finding different opportunities, this sheikh, that sheikh, following this individual on social media and that individual on social media, all of this effort that an individual is making, but he is not practicing. And he is only doing that to increase his information, then this knowledge is going to be used against this individual on the Day of Judgment. Allah will say that I facilitated for you to learn, but you didn't practice. You acquired knowledge, but did not bring into your amal. So a fortunate individual is the one who is having his heart to be knowledgeable, understanding what Allah is saying and implementing into his life. This person is considered to be a successful person. And then inshallah we'll continue with the next two in the upcoming days. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the understanding and the ability to practice. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب